Hi everybody, happy Thursday. Well, if you can tell by the title, this vlog will not be perfect. I have been trying to get it done all day and things are getting in the way. I have not straightened my hair, I've not put on much makeup. What else have I not done today? It's been a very imperfect day. Ashland was having a great morning and then he had a really short nap. His sleep schedule was totally not predictable like it usually is. He's just in a wonky schedule today. And things just didn't go the way I planned. So I thought I would talk about the subject that I've been thinking a lot about. And it's similar to, the struggle for finding balance, but really what it's all about is worrying. I think we worry too much about trying to be perfect, trying to lead perfect lives, trying to be perfect in our work, in our jobs, in school. It's been coming up a lot with students I work with who are overly stressed, overly committed, and they're trying to do everything perfectly, and it's just not possible. Of course, I want to encourage you to strive for greatness and to take pride in your work and try hard and work hard. This is in no means a letting you off the hook vlog, but I also think, it's good to keep in mind we don't need to live perfect lives, and nobody is perfect. I know we've heard that a million times, but it's just something that I think a lot of us struggle with, and we might have pressure from other people in our lives who are pushing us to do that, but I think the real reality is most of the time it's us getting in our own way. I've been finding this lately, not only in my personal life as a mother, wanting to be the perfect parent, but on stage as the perfect performer. I want to sing perfectly. I want to hit every note. As an artist, as a musician, I always want to put out the best work. And fortunately, when you're putting out produced music, you are able to sometimes help the tuning a little teeny bit or help with editing, and if there was a take where I messed up a word or something went wrong, I'm able to cut it and make it perfect. When you're on stage and you have an audience and you mess up, you can't go back and fix it. Well, you can, but they saw your mess up. So you just have to bear your imperfect self in front of this audience, and it's scary. I recently did a live show. I had just 2 shows, and the first night I completely blanked on my whole kind of opening welcome speech, and it was talking about the songwriter, and I had written it out and memorized it and gone over it and over it and over it, but just the nerves got in the way and it totally just washed from my mind, which has probably happened to many of you. Have you ever given a speech or had something memorized that just completely left your brain? So that happened, and even just on the spot I just said, I'm so nervous, I gotta get my nerves out, and the audience laughed and we all kind of relaxed a little bit, and in some ways it might have helped us loosen up, and it helped me loosen up for sure. But a lot of that was the pressure I was putting on myself, and constantly in my head was this running monologue. What's the next line? What do you say next? What do you panicking? And there was so much information in there already. It was just like there's pretty much no way there's ever going to be a perfect show. And I just had to accept that, and I go back and listen to the recordings of it, and there are notes that I didn't sing perfectly in tune, and there are a few lyrics that I might have mistaken, and it doesn't matter. And in the end, you strive for doing your best. I knew that I had done the work. I had rehearsed and rehearsed and rehearsed and prepared, and I felt really great about how the whole weekend went, but in the end, I had to let go a little bit. That's something I'm also finding as a singer is, I'm way more interested in going to see someone on stage and also being this type of performer that just emotes and just lets it come from my heart. I think it's so much more effective for the audience, and I prefer to be in the moment and to just be able to express myself rather than worry about every single note, and if something didn't go quite right, not stressing about it and thinking about it the rest of the song, but just continuing to be present and in the moment. And I recently saw a performance by one of my favorite singers in town, and she was really, really hoarse. And after the show, she came up to me and said, I'm so sorry you had to see that show. And honestly, it was one of the most inspiring shows I've seen in a long time. I was weeping at the end of one of her songs, and that part of it made it so much more real. And what I really loved about it was that she didn't always sound pretty, and sometimes it even sounded bad, but it was so right for those moments. It was almost that much more inspiring, and I went home thinking, you know what? When I do my show, I just need to think about that. Like, it's about the moment and the experience that we all have and conveying that emotion, and it doesn't have to be absolutely perfect. So those of you who are performers, my channel is very musical and I talk a lot about that. I just did an audition workshop and some voice lessons last week, but also for those of you who are parents, just talked about finding balance in your life. And I think that it's really important that we as parents, don't stress too much about being that perfect parent. We're all gonna make mistakes. We make plenty of mistakes. Ashland has way too many bumps and bruises because he's constantly toppling over, but I can't be there to catch him every time he falls. And if I was, maybe I would be the perfect parent, but it's just not realistic. And I obviously want to be there, and I try to be very present for him. And, we do our best as parents to do what we think is right for our son. Really stress the importance of eating healthy. We feed him healthy food. There's a lot of things that we do that we feel like we've researched and we've read about that are, the right things to do as a parent. But in the end, I know that I'm not a perfect parent and I make mistakes. I didn't put enough sunscreen on my son yesterday, and now his cheeks are pink. And his cheeks are always pink. So I thought, well, he just has pink cheeks today, but they stayed pink last night. And so then I knew, and I said to Peter, I'm so sorry I didn't put enough sunscreen on. The moral of the story is nobody is perfect. Those of you who are students, who are stressed about getting perfect 4.0s and perfect grades, and I'm not saying that that's not important, and if it's important to you, of course, strive for that. But it's not the end of the world, because we are not perfect people, and you can only do your best. As long as you feel like at the end of the day, you did the work and you did the preparation and you understood everything to the best of your ability, then that's the best you can do. I just encourage you to enjoy life and don't let our desire for perfection and constant feelings of inadequacy, get in the way of enjoying your life, because it's not worth it. I know it may sound morbid, but I always think, if today was my last day, what would I want to spend my time doing and thinking about and working towards? And I'm definitely not perfect with this, and I definitely spend plenty of days feeling inadequate, like we all do. But I try to lessen the stress and just say, you know what, Ev, you did the best you could, and really what's important in your life, my relationships, my family, trying to inspire others and do things that I feel like make a difference in people's lives. I mean, whatever it is that makes me happy and makes others happy and feels healthy for me, that's what I try to work towards. Being a supportive partner, being a good wife. Oh my goodness, I am not a perfect wife. Peter and I are constantly talking about how to be better partners for each other. I think that's really important, and we are failing miserably a lot of the time. But I think that's important, you have to address it and communicate and address the imperfection. So embrace your imperfectness and just accept yourself for who you are, and you can constantly strive for doing better, being better, but just know that you are doing your best. Well, thank you so much for watching, you guys. I appreciate you following along on this journey with me of self-discovery. It's been a really cool year, and I'm really excited about some upcoming music. There's gonna be some live stuff coming up and another Moroccan video of a song that many of you have been requesting. So keep those requests up. But today I would love you to comment down below, what imperfection about yourself do you worry too much about, and are you gonna let go of? Don't stress. Don't worry. Be happy. Thanks again for watching my imperfectly crooked video. Peace. Bye, guys.
Regrets collect like old friends, here to relive our darkest moments. I can see no